there, Defenders. And right before we get to the episode, I'd like to bring up one thing. Thank you so much for listening, first of all. And just so you know, we are trying to build the podcast as much as possible. So if you can, please, please, please listen, rate, review the podcast, tell your friends, spread the word about the podcast. Contact us, defendyourmovie@gmail.com. We're Defend Your Movie on Twitter. Also, we're getting the Patreon back up and running. We have a lot of new stuff for you guys, a lot of limited edition giveaways, as well as extra content, much more extra content than we had before. So if you're a member, stay a member. Don't worry. More stuff is coming. And thank you so much. Sign up now. It's Defend Your Movie on Patreon, defendyourmovie@gmail.com, and @DefendYourMovie on Twitter. Thank you, and enjoy the episode.
I was here too.
You can say whatever you want.
In a world full of movie podcasts, here is one more. Welcome to Defend Your Movie with Sean Donnelly.
The time has come again. The champion must stand. It can only be one of us. Victoria! So stand up and fight, my friend. There's a title you must defend. Shut it on and on. Bring it to me. Defend your movie.
Galaxy. Galaxy?
No, I said Alex. I said Ready Alex.
Yeah, I thought maybe he was thinking it was Galaxy.
Are you on Molly right now?
That should be the start, right?
Hello there, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Defend Your Movie. Hello, Defenders. We have
Defenders.
a fan name that we came up with that nobody's really...
I love it.
Do you like it, Defenders?
Yeah, the Defenders.
I think it sounds cool.
That sounds cool.
Right.
That's a t-shirt.
It sounds like an 80s pinball movie or something.
We'll make up something for the next live show.
Yeah, we should. We should make up a shirt.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for listening. I'm one of your hosts. I'm Sean Donnelly, and I'm joined by my super funny co-host, Andy Fiore.
Hey, everybody. Hello, Sean.
And we are joined with our pal, our guest. I would just say third mic for the day. I wouldn't even call him a guest. He's such a pal and a buddy.
Yeah.
Greg Stone, ladies and gentlemen. You know him from the what's the podcast?
The Rad
Come on,
Dude
the Rad Dude
Cast.
Cast.
Damn it. I wanted
It literally
to
just went
see
out of my
you
mind for a
flounder
second.
And, you know, from Men's Hair Club.
Yeah, they're going to know me from that.
Sorry.
It's going, baby.
Well, right before we
It's going
started-
far.
No, it's not.
Quick.
Right before we started, you talked about how your hair is going. But to be honest, I'm looking at your hair, and it doesn't look...
Look here. Look through. You can see through. And I did a thing.
Yeah,
I did a
that's the
push phone.
very
got a
early
real-
stages of seeing through. So.
I'm going to get on the road game, but I told you I'm going to do a tour of all the haircuts I always wanted, and I'm going to say goodbye in the right way. I'm going to do a...
So how many of those haircuts are there? So right now you kind of have long sideburns, which looks really good.
Yeah,
yeah,
And
I
I
do
like
right
the
now.
way it is now. Like it's trimmed, but it's also like kind of
Yeah.
a little bit shaggy on the sides there.
Maybe I'll do a mohawk. I'm going to do all the things so I have no regrets when it's gone. You know, it's like I did all the hairstyles.
Well, mohawk, you shave it. That's like that was when you
That'll be
really
the last one.
That'll be
That'll come naturally.
that'll be the one that right when you come down to the wire. It's like a
I got one
mohawk.
left.
Yeah.
The farewell hair tour.
And what else is there? You're gonna try to grow it long?
Ooh, maybe. Yeah,
Yeah, well,
I'll get extensions.
Yeah, there's not that much else out there. You're just like, I just like a boy's regular.
I'm bringing my bowl cut back. Oh, you got a bowl cut going, kind of.
It's maybe because I have my headphones on.
No, you don't have a. Yeah, he has like regular.
He parted it in the middle.
Oh, yeah, but I got the wave.
He's got like roadie hair.
Yeah, he always has no
I got
road.
like 1984 Kenny Rogers. Right now.
He's got the gambler hair.
Oh, turn me up. I want to be louder than these guys.
Every once in a while, Greg says to me, and you'll punch him in the mouth.
Greg and I.
Greg was 20 minutes late, and he's telling us what to do.
That's Greg and I recently is one of my best friends for years. Lately, we've become it's a real one-upsmanship where it's a real talking down to. Yeah, lately.
You think it's lately? I always think we have a nice fun, like every now
I
and
know
again,
it's
you look
obviously
over,
all in
you call me a
tongue-in-cheek.
cocksucker.
Well, earlier, Andy was asking Greg, hey, charge my phone. He's like, well, I was maybe going to. And he's like, it's my podcast. Charge my fucking phone.
What I was saying was, I will say this. What I was saying there was, I was going to be shitty to you, but I know your back hurts, so I'm going to charge it
thanks.
without a whole hubbub of...
So I have to be in pain, is what you're saying, for you to do me a personal favor.
For me to feel good about myself, you have to be in pain.
You're in pain right now?
I'm in excruciating.
Andy has this crazy...
I threw my back out like 2 weeks ago, and then it was getting better. Last week around Thursday, Friday, I ran around all weekend doing spas, just jumping around the city, taking cabs everywhere and trains, and basically not resting it. And now I'm fucking back to square one, I feel like.
Dude, actually, by our house was a great massage place. You should go there because she'll make you come.
Well, all right, maybe.
Yeah, it's like a legitimate massage.
It actually kind
And he's like, I'm in like real medical pain. And he's like, want a hand job?
Yes, he was a prostitute, I know.
He's like, I know these immigrants that'll give you a happy ending. Oh, you should see a chiropractor / doctor /
He's like, you don't need insurance or nothing.
No,
man.
It's $70, baby.
No, that's actually one of the activities that hurts the most, honestly.
Getting jerked off?
Yeah, and jerking off.
Oh, and jerking off.
Yeah, but this
So
is,
because you're on your back all the time.
you're on your back, and sometimes I just stand. That's usually my preferred method.
You masturbate standing?
Yeah, I stand and go right in
Impossible.
the old toilet. No.
Into the
Doing it
toilet?
since I was a teen.
You were so
Dude,
Catholic.
he's like a cat that's potty trained to shit in the bathroom.
That is the most Catholic thing I've ever heard.
You come into the toilet.
I actually used to be the same
So
way.
little less cleanup.
Yeah,
great.
it's easier. Yeah, it's way easier.
No muss, no fuss.
No
The
muss,
thing
no
is, you got
fuss.
no one living in your place. If I had no one living in my
Yeah, live
place,
alone.
I would be coming everywhere.
Well, I also have the.
What do you mean you have no one living in your place? You live by yourself?
Yeah.
How did I not know that?
Do that.
yeah.
I did know that, but I guess I forgot. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's serious money.
Do you guys
baby.
like eating on the podcast? Or?
Well, I guess you do. No, yeah, you're fine. I do it all the time.
We one time stopped so Sean could eat a cookie.
No, come on.
So the answer is yes. We like eating on the podcast.
We got to put this baby on pause. Look at this cookie.
Alex, time out. Yeah. No, well.
Unless you have cookies.
Can I sip of that?
No, you can't have any of my water.
This could be a guest here.
All right, fine. Well, yeah,
so
no,
harsh.
not to get any blue, but yeah. So I've kind of been down for the count, and I haven't. I was running around, so I didn't watch anything this week.
Because your back was fine up until recently. You drank the. What is this like?
You are
Greg
such
Stone.
a fucking asshole.
Is this the Greg Stone prank podcast?
No, he left.
He left like backwash.
You left such an insulting amount of my full pint glass
Greg is
of water.
like, I think Greg. I don't want to use. I'll use this word with a heavy hand. I think he's half retarded. I think Greg is like he can't stay focused. Like we haven't even talked about one movie yet. Literally talking about your back. He literally just drank all your water.
Yeah, I need that. My pills make me thirsty.
I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know.
My anti-inflammatory pills. They go. This is drink with more than the amount of water that you would normally drink.
This is the Rad Dude cast.
I know.
It's not. We don't throw caution to the wind. We have a mission here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, that's fine.
I mean, that is
I love
fucking
Andy.
raindrop of water.
He's an asshole.
Yeah.
I mean, what?
That's how I make
Have
you
you
feel
noticed, though, Sean? The most of my close friends are enjoying my pain.
I'm not.
Thank you.
I'm
Sean.
very, very I thought about you all the time. I hope you're feeling better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't enjoy the fact that you're pain, but I do enjoy it to make you feel worse. Because I like to be in control of the pain. I don't want your back being.
What does that even mean?
I know.
Like his
That's
back-
such a Greg thing to say, too.
Well, his
Like
back
being-
hurts. I don't like that someone else is making him hurt.
Do you have
I want to make him hurt.
Do you have a voodoo doll of me at home?
Yes.
And this is why you just before you leave the house sticking because today it's really bad.
I'm sorry. I don't like that. I'll get you some more water. You want me to? I'll spit in there.
All right, it's fine.
Okay.
I'll be the bigger man.
Did you didn't watch any movies this week?
I didn't watch any movies this week. I've just been catching up on like Netflix TV binge shows.
What'd you binge?
The Americans.
Oh, I'm in the.
Ooh, I
I
heard it's
started
great.
watching that too. I'm like
Yeah.
the 9th episode, but
I
took a break.
It's good, but now I just need closure.
Yeah.
what
And
season are you on?
5. I'm
Oh,
deep.
you're deep.
Is that the end?
No,
6.
6 is the season.
One
Evan
more.
Williams is in the last season.
Oh, cool.
You'll see
That's
him.
our friend.
He plays
He's a comic.
Cop. He plays
Evan
a cop.
Williams. Did you watch any movies this week, Greg? Did you
did.
see any of the ones from the Golden Globes or anything? or
I
not?
watched all of the screeners,
Oh, did you?
and the best movie I saw was Into the Spider-Verse is my favorite.
Well, you're also like a big comic book nerd.
Yeah,
guy.
but still great movie. Did you see
You think
it?
it's better than all the other? I didn't see it. I heard it's great though.
Yeah, I mean, I'm literally wearing red because I love Spider-Man so much. But it's the best. I would say it's not only is the best comic book movie, it's the best movie I've ever. It's the best movie I've ever
Yeah,
seen. In my
you know,
life.
There's no. What are you talking
Sean,
about?
best.
can I just he says this about
Every
40,
movie.
40 movies.
Yeah, because you've done the podcast before.
Yeah,
you're
every
like,
movie just keeps getting better.
you have a thing where you're like, I think I just like all the movies.
I love movies, but this is the best movie.
There's never been a movie that you're like, that was awful.
Well,
You ever see Gotti?
no, I'm gonna see
It's
Gotti,
the
and I'm gonna
worst.
enjoy it. That's
You
fun.
like you're
No,
very
it's
positive.
not fun. It's an insult to movie making. If you're a real movie fan, which you should be,
What do you mean? I watch a movie, I go, "This is great."
do you,
I
but
love
you
a
know
fan.
like you know like the
You
basics
can have some
of
critical
filmmaking?
analysis though.
Yeah.
Huh?
You can have some constructive, critical analysis.
Yeah, but I like a good, campy, shitty movie.
But some movies,
Sure.
we were talking about this last time. There's fun bad, and then there's just bad.
Well, sometimes people, like, I watched Black Klansman, and I was like, this was great. And then I was talking to Joe List, another friend of ours, and he was like, why did this happen, this happen, and this happen? And I went, I guess it wasn't that
We
good.
talked about that last week. I couldn't even get through it.
Stop watching.
Really?
I stopped while I was like, I don't need.
I just find the good in everything.
You do. You're a very positive, optimistic person like that.
Except for Andy's back problem.
Yeah, except for when it comes to my
It just
injuries.
It made me laugh how much he sounded like Denzel Washington. That I just like, I love this guy. He sounds like Denzel.
Okay,
Son.
all right.
But you should see it in the Spider-Verse. I think if you could be open-minded and watch a cartoon and be okay with that, it's the best
I
comic
have no
book
problem
style.
watching it. You know what I liked was
telling.
even though it's different, but the Lego movies
Oh, those are unbelievable.
and the new commercial.
Greg's favorite movie of all time.
No, but it's up there. That was a joke, but it's not that joke.
When me and Anthony, Greg's roommate, best friend, were on the road. Anthony DeVito. We were on the road last year, and we went to see Black Panther. I said, "You want to watch me make Greg mad?" I text him. I go, "Black Panther, meh."
And he freaked out.
Lost his mind.
I threw my phone.
Lost his
Threw
mind.
my phone against the wall.
There, you ever get your phone message? You ever have you get a text message? Your phone only goes off once, but it says 12 text messages because it doesn't have time to keep vibrating.
Yeah.
That's what it was with Greg.
Faster than
Yeah,
light.
it's in it. It's like in the first buzz.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I think what it is this. That's what you're saying, like weird stuff where you're like, I like to be in control of the pain. I think Greg has like Italian rage inside of him that comes out at certain points.
Oh, yeah.
For certain, like,
Absolutely.
like you're actually,
That's serious
but you're kind of a quirky guy on top of it, so it's coming out for weird moments. Like I didn't like Spider-Verse, motherfucker.
Oh yeah, no, it's anything with having to do with cartoon. I like rubbing him the wrong. He likes to post his toy pictures.
Yeah.
Online. I like making up names and incorrect information, and I put him in his Instagram posts to make him mad.
He's like Italian Mike Lawrence.
Yeah, you're a fucking Guinea Mike Lawrence.
Yeah.
You're a real Ginzaloon mafioso Mike Lawrence.
It's Mike's birthday today.
Oh,
So
Is
I'm
it
not gonna
Mike's
talk about
birthday?
it.
Oh, I gotta,
Happy
I guess
birthday,
I'm
Mike.
happy birthday. Oh, and what we should talk about before we get to the meat and potatoes part of the podcast.
You guys do meat and potatoes too?
Is that what you call it?
On the Rad Dude Cast, if you come to our show, we do a meat and potatoes where you bring a potato and we sign it. You don't do that?
No,
How'd you also do
I
that?
meant like the main part of
Yeah.
the podcast, like the
not an
basic.
actual meeting.
Oh, we do a thing.
Not,
It's fun.
Meat and potato. You bring a potato and I sign it. You don't do that?
No, why would you think I would do that?
You're not that Irish.
Yeah. How Irish do you think I am?
I don't know.
I called you Italian. Now you're making potato.
You don't have to-
autograph.
Yeah, that's the Rad Dude Cast thing. Is you bring a potato to our show, we sign it.
You said the words. You don't do that.
Yeah, you
after-
should do it. It's big.
I know you
Fans
said it
love
with
it.
You said it in shock that it wasn't a recurring practice.
Well, I was upset as I thought maybe I didn't come up with it. I thought that was only our
Where
thing.
do they bring the potato?
To us, to the show.
A live one?
Not alive, because potatoes don't talk. Well, you know what I mean.
Oh my god!
Are you getting mad?
Can we start over and not have Greg on the show?
I feel a
A
little
live
crazy today.
podcast episode, you doic.
Oh, like, yeah. All right, I'm sorry. I feel
Like,
like
how are
I'm-
they showing up with the? They just come to when you're taping the podcast.
No, to our to when I perform. I'm a stand-up comedian,
Oh, and they come.
and they'll come to the shows.
You are? You're not a comedian?
Yeah. It's I go.
Where do they? Oh, so when you perform shows, people come with potatoes.
They'll bring potatoes, and then we sign them. It's like a fun thing.
But you're with the other guys, or just you?
They'll do it to Anthony, Brendan, and myself when we're on the road.
So it's like a souvenir.
Yeah,
that they have to bring themselves.
Hey, come. You know you're a Rad Dude Cast fan if you come to the podcast
It's-
with a potato. And
It's
we sign
essentially
it.
your merch.
Yeah, it's our merch. That's how it started. We didn't have merch.
If you bring me a potato when I'm on the road, I'll throw it in your face.
I can't tell if I'm making...
I'm a 40-year-old man. You bring me a
Will you sign
potato,
this?
I'll dice it up and I'll make something out of it. No, that's
I'm
funny.
sorry.
That's
I feel like a dick. I feel like I took us off track.
No. I
okay.
brought it up because I was like, "What are you
brought
talking
up
about?"
meat and potatoes.
I did. I said the meat and potatoes part of the podcast.
Yeah.
That's what I said. But it's good to have. See, that's what goes on with like podcasts now. You have to have weird things because people love weird shit.
Yeah.
So you have to have a thing where it's like, "Hey, bring a clown nose. I'll wear it for 20 minutes of my set." And people are like, I gotta see this happen. So they're just showing up just to fuck with you and bring you a clown nose. You said you'd do it. No, I meant meat and potatoes. I should say the meat part of the podcast when I say that. Like,
No.
Not
the
the
phrase
side
is meat and
dish.
potatoes.
Yeah.
It's not just them. That would sound crazy. Let's
What?
just get to the meat.
Yeah, you're right.
That,
Yeah,
no.
you're
Let's
right.
get to the
Don't
meat
let
of it. Craig fucking sidetrack you into saying a world-renowned common phrase.
No, here's the thing. Let's get to the meat. You don't say meat and potatoes.
Yes,
because
you do.
Meat and potatoes is the whole meal. So you
Right.
mean
It's the
no?
most-
We got to get rid of the appetizer. We're getting rid of the green beans. We're getting rid of the spinach. We're going to get right to the meat.
What we just did was the appetizer. Now we're getting to the main course.
Oh,
Which is
okay,
the meat.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh,
Okay, yeah, you're
all
right.
right.
I can see that. Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I meant the first time I said it.
I'm with you 100%, partner.
All right.
5 points for you.
Now we're
Andy.
really getting off track. But yeah, so
On a
today,
sadder note.
before we get to that, I wanted to say, you guys know we're in the comedy community. All of us are stand-up comics. Today, we just found out that a friend of ours, William Stevenson, has passed away. So we just want to say, rest in peace, William. We're
Sorry,
really
Ed.
sad
Sorry
about
to
it.
see you go.
The guy could not. He was like a stalwart. He was a staple of the Comedy Cellar I didn't know this, for 30 years. Somebody wrote today for 30 years. And that's a big deal. You don't stay at that place for 30 years unless you know what you're doing. And William was super funny and a super nice guy, and just almost like a lovable old
Grouchy
curmudgeon.
grandpa, yeah.
But he had a good heart, and we're sending thoughts and prayers to his family.
Absolutely.
And everybody that knows him. But today, as far as the podcast goes, was that shitty how I did that?
No, I almost did this thing. It's when we have this thing at the radio station whenever I commentize them, like the meekest, mildest Jacob Bata, who some of you might know from the Bonfire. He'll always time it perfectly where he'll just it'll be like, yeah, it really sucks. And then he'll go, goodbye, funny man. And I almost dropped one right there. Because you don't expect to come from this little Jewish kid.
Goodbye.
He's really got good timing sometimes. Goodbye,
Goodbye, funny man.
But yeah.
Well, yeah, all right. Goodbye, funny man. Can we steal it for
Of course,
yeah.
that's what.
But yeah, so today what we wanted to do was, and this is why I feel like you're just going to say you like every movie that we're going to talk about, because we have two movies that go up against each other that are two big movies. And you said you have opinions on it. I'm dying to know what it is.
I did.
You did, and you don't anymore. Or you do still?
I wrote them down.
Okay, all right.
In my head.
So when we were trying if you guys could know, before the show is almost up to the button, like up to the start of the show, we're texting like crazy, like, what should we do? What should we do? What should we do?
Maybe that'll be a Patreon thing where we'll release some of the group chat,
text.
chunks of the group chat.
Because it's like because it actually is a pretty heated. It's a thing of like, what? No, not this. Not because we can't do this for this
It's
reason.
a furious exchange sometimes.
Fury.
Yeah, because there's a lot of stuff because it's also like I get mad at myself because I'm like, as we're listening stuff, I'm like, oh, I should be preparing more for the podcast. But we came up with two classics that I have two classics that I have opinions about, and I have a pick for this matchup. And so
to give a little more background, we were trying to think of winter snowy movies in the dead of January, and then we're like, you know what? Let's get warm. Let's take it the opposite way. Let's
get
think
warm.
of fun in the sun.
I actually did One Crazy Summer. That was a great.
That got batted around.
One of my
One Crazy
favorites.
Summer. So yeah, we're gonna go do two summertime teenage loving classics. Shawnee,
we're doing Ferris Bueller's versus Caddyshack. Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Two Hall of Famers.
And I think we're going to do a three-way argument because Greg has opinions about this. So we're not going to really have a referee for this, but let's get everybody's stance. Like everybody's pick. Guest goes first, and your stance, and give us a start-off reason why.
Okay, so this was tricky for me, but
tough.
I lean to Ferris because for me it's more of a staple. Caddyshack. The reason how I had to figure this out, because to me they're equal. What I had to really come to terms with is that Caddyshack isn't my favorite Rodney movie. Ferris Bueller is definitely my favorite. Cameron Burns? Matthew Broderick movie. My favorite Back to School, I think, is the best Rodney Dangerfield. So if it was Back to School, I'll go with Back to School. Caddyshack's amazing, but also
Interesting take.
kind of a random thing. I was raised on Caddyshack 2. Didn't find out about Caddyshack 1 till later.
Really?
Yeah. So
Wow,
I
what
was
a
like,
poor-
What do you mean
I
you
know.
didn't find out about it? It had 2 in the title.
Well, but when I was a kid, they just played everything on Channel 11.
2 was that we're close enough in age that 2 is what came out when we were kids.
Yes.
It was
So
way more on
one,
TV.
Like it was right before. Like Andy, you know about it because you love 70s stuff, and I know about it because of my dad. I think I just watched it with my dad, but it wasn't like it wasn't in the theaters obviously when we were kids.
You know what? Now that I think back, I might have seen Caddyshack 2 first.
Yeah, it was
when I was a kid,
especially in New
because
Jersey.
I think it had a non-rated R rating, and I just remember
Yeah, it was PG-13.
So I think I know I rented it at one point, and my mom wouldn't let me watch rated R movies or rent them. So You might have something on there.
Yeah.
And we all know the best part of Caddyshack too, Randy Quaid.
Randy Quaid.
Randy Quaid is like the best part about anything. He's a maniac.
It's definitely not Chevy Chase's earring.
When I saw Caddyshack,
he's the only person in. Yeah, he's the only person that comes back.
When I saw Caddyshack 1, I was like, why didn't they bring back any of the originals?
Yeah.
Where the hell's Quaid? Where the hell's what's his name? Who the hell's the lead guy?
You're thinking that
Part 1 doesn't have any of the stalwarts.
Who is the main Jackie? Where's Jackie Mason?
What made this franchise great?
Yeah, 2 is really bad. It's got a bunch of like sitcom stars.
Yeah.
Jackie Mason.
Yeah.
Dan
Jonathan
Aykroyd.
Silverman, I believe that
Yes,
guy's
Jonathan
name.
Silverman, the single guy. Remember, he was the single guy.
Wow,
Also,
that
the
was
guy
him.
Jonathan Silverman in Caddyshack 2 is the guy who played the rapist comic on Law and Order SVU.
Yes, he did. Absolutely. Which is such a horrible
such
episode.
a great episode.
No, it's bad.
It's hilarious.
SVU stinks. I hate
SVU
SVU.
is it's a soap opera at this point.
I
It's not
need
even a real
McCoy, I
thing.
need Briscoe and Green.
Yeah, but Caddyshack 1. So you're saying like childhood wise, Ferris just takes the cake.
I mean, that was for me. Yeah, and also that
Me
was the
too.
timing of when I was growing up.
Me too.
And it was like my age. Loved John Hughes.
Yes.
You need more water over there?
Yeah. Also, what's her name? Sloane. Knockout.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. You just did like 3 points at once.
Oh, should I not have? I'm sorry.
No, it's
Oh,
fine.
okay.
But what I'm saying is he just nailed almost every reason why I would sit there and go, because both of them have classic lines. Both of them have classic people in them. Sloane, as far as a crush, there's no crush in Caddyshack 2. The blonde, even though she's super hot and they show her boobs, right? They show her boobs at one point. The blonde.
Caddyshack 1?
Caddyshack 1, I'm sorry. Caddyshack 1, the blonde.
Lacey Underall.
But it's no Sloane. Sloane was like
Sloane was
unbelievable.
That's
Unbelievable.
I don't know.
So
Man.
when it comes down to it, like,
I might take Lacey over Sloane. I don't know.
really?
I mean,
no.
trust me, I love Sloane, but
You have like the brain of like a 45-year-old person.
I'm almost
When it
45.
No, you're not.
I'm 5 years away from being 40.
Yeah, but I'm the same, we're the
gonna
same
be
age.
in 3 months.
You're gonna be 40 in 3 months. But I'm saying you're like I'd take Lacey. Like Sloane's a part of our childhood and a part of your childhood as well. Sloane is the one that was like, oh my God, Sloane. Lacey, it
All right,
timed
well, I'll
out.
make
It
this point.
timed
When I
out.
was younger, I loved Sloane, but now that I'm a little older and more well-refined, I like Lacey Underall.
No way.
Promiscuous.
Lacey Underall. Great name though.
I like great names. Caddyshack has great names.
The Caddyshack has the one thing I was thinking about Caddyshack that let me ask you, Andy. So
Yes.
you're going for Caddyshack?
I'm going for Caddyshack over Ferris.
So it's
and another
basically-
tough one for me personally,
What, 2
but
against
I
1?
just enjoy Caddyshack a little more.
Oh.
Harold Ramis, first-time director, saw what he became, one of the classic legends of comedy. Better ensemble cast.
I don't know about that.
I know.
What?
Cameron.
Rodney Dangerfield, Chevy Chase, Bill Murray, Brian Doyle Murray. And I'm out here slinging Yoo-Hoo 6 days a week. There's the Seinfeld reference. The Bubble Boy. I love Yoo-Hoo. He goes, it's a fine product. Brian Doyle Murray. Sorry to get sidetracked.
No, we needed the reference.
We try and shoehorn one in
We
a week.
do one
I lo-
Seinfeld reference.
I love that you guys do. I mean, Andy does a Seinfeld reference in our relationship every day, and I still haven't seen it.
You still haven't seen what?
I haven't seen most of the Seinfelds. I've seen a lot of Seinfelds. I'm still working my way through them.
Oh my God, this gets worse and worse.
I know, this is what I deal with.
Oh
But-
my God.
I grew
It's fine,
up
it's
in
okay.
This kid is. Are you kidding me?
I grew up in a Puerto Rican neighborhood. We watched Martin. I wasn't allowed
What are
to
you
watch
talking
Seinfeld.
about? When did you become Puerto Rican? You're Italian.
I grew up in a Puerto Rican neighborhood. I was like the only white guy until I got to high school. Who's yelling?
It's Alex.
Alex, our producer.
Alexi?
He's aghast from the producer's booth.
I mean, I watched it. I
That's how you
like
were
it. I think
raised.
it's great, but I got onto it later.
Oh, all right. We'll talk about it later.
Better ensemble. You have it's. I think it's a better story. It's just a tough one. I was going to say I think it's a better story arc because obviously you have one day in the life versus an entire summer. But yeah, I just think Caddyshack is written by the Lampoon guys with Doug Kenny, who's kind of a legendary guy who died like right after. So there was this lore surrounding
Well,
how
he was the
Douglas
guy
Kenny
who-
died,
it
and
was
Harold
Animal
Ramis
House,
and
right?
Brian Doyle Murray. It was his idea of him and Bill and their other brother John were all caddies growing up, so that was planted the seeds of Caddyshack.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's where the story comes from. And like the Baby Ruth thing was a real thing that happened in their life at their country club.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Having Bill Murray is huge, but also being the single best thing that Matthew Broderick's ever done, Ferris Bueller has. That's
okay.
nothing that compares in that guy's career.
Inspector Gadget. Nah.
What? Watch a Seinfeld episode.
Yeah. Godzilla.
Yeah.
He's kind of I mean,
No, he's
it's
Election.
He
He's great in Election.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah.
That's
what
true.
else has he done that was good?
Nothing
Election.
that was really big like that.
But
And then he hit the guy with his car.
Oh, yeah.
granted, it's a little more slapstick, but I think it's also written a little better in terms of its pure straight comedy. That's what it goes for. It knows it identifies with what it is.
Yeah,
and I do think Ferris Bueller knows what it is too, and it gets that job done. But that's why it pushes it over the edge for me. I just like the straight comedy. I love the cleverness of some of the stuff, and I mean, it's way more quotable than Ferris Bueller.
Let me ask you one thing. This is gonna be burned in your head forever. 9 times. 9
That's quotable.
times.
Okay,
Your son's been absent 9 times.
But Noonan,
9 times.
9 times.
She goes 9 times? 9 times.
Bueller.
The jig is up.
Bueller.
yeah, I'm
being
saying it's fairly
Oh,
quotable.
you know what? You just put up 2. It's as quotable.
No,
They're
it's
as,
not.
they're as
No
quotable.
way.
Bueller,
No
Bueller,
way.
9 times.
Bueller.
You got
Save
Noonan.
Ferris is a band.
Noonan.
Save Ferris became a band.
Okay,
Based on a
Caddyshack has
shirt.
restaurants.
What does that mean?
They have restaurants.
Is it Caddyshack
restaurants?
That no
No,
one
they
knows
do
about.
not.
Yes, they do.
Where?
Look it up. Florida. Hot golf
But you're going to
spots.
look up Save Ferris. The band had a hot hit.
Yeah, they were in
What
10
song
things I
is
hate
it?
about you.
99 Left Balloons. It was the it was the cover.
Oh, so they didn't even write their own song.
They did in that one too. Also, way more heart in Ferris Bueller. Way more heart.
Well, when you have John
Cameron?
Hughes, having John Hughes,
Yeah.
you can put that up against a lot of things about Caddyshack for me because of how much I love John Hughes. So, like, if you say Harold Ramis, I would rather watch anything John Hughes besides Harold Ramis. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's a bigger influence. to me
Really?
than,
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Groundhog
Me too.
Day.
Oh, I love Groundhog Day.
Yeah, Groundhog Day up against like Planes, Trains, up against Groundhog
Ghostbusters?
Day.
Oh yeah. Which one?
Ghostbusters, the first one.
Yeah.
Ghostbusters.
Any of the franchise. Any of the
No,
universe.
Ghostbusters doesn't have like a place in my.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
Ghostbusters I like, but Planes, Trains has a place for me. Groundhog Day I love. Groundhog Day. I
Breakfast
love.
Club?
What?
I love the Breakfast Club.
Breakfast
That was
Club.
John Hughes.
Breakfast Club has more of
Yeah,
emotional
John Hughes
attachment
does
for
the
me.
teenager thing. That's his thing. I mean,
Yeah, and then when you're little, like when these things were coming out, and I was little, it's like a big deal for you to watch teenagers. And I
Yes,
guess that would have.
that's true.
But by the time I watched Caddyshack, I might have been a teenager, and also it time wise because I was used to seeing things 80s like at that point. When you see things all 70s, which we've talked about before, I guess, but. I don't relate to the characters as much. And I know that's a stupid reason, but it did happen.
Yeah, but
like,
yeah,
I look
baby.
at Danny and I'm
I mean,
like, you're so 70s looking, I'm not relating. Like, even Fast Times, like, I love Fast Times, like we talked about a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
But I'm like, it looks so early 80s, I didn't relate to that at the time. But, like, Ferris Bueller's, we were right there as it was going on.
Yep.
yeah, I give you that.
The Sausage King of
Saw it in
Chicago.
the theater,
Abe Froman.
saw one in the theater, so the other one didn't. That makes a big deal. Yeah, Abe Froman, he goes, pardon my French, but you're an asshole. Come on, that's another quotable.
I'm
Mikey has
not
many
done with my
quotables.
quotes. I mean, there's still so many more Caddyshacs.
There's a
There's
Ted
a
Knight.
chunk.
The Ted Knight.
Ted Knight.
Oh my God.
Rodney.
He's like, I want a hot dog.
I want
I want
Spalding.
a hamburger. He goes, you'll get nothing like it.
Ted Knight alone. I mean,
Ted Knight is a
Ted
really
Knight.
strong part. Hold on, I was going to say something.
Look at the wax built up on these shoes.
yeah, Porterhouse.
Well, you know, the King, the one quote that you haven't pulled out yet that I would pull out of
I haven't had a chance to.
Go ahead. What is my favorite one? Do you think?
What do I think your favorite one is?
Yeah, with Ted Knight.
I don't think it's How'd You Like to Mow My Lawn.
No, it's. I want me to do it.
Yeah.
It's easy to grin when your ship comes in and you got the stock market beat. But the man who's worthwhile is the man who can smile when his pants are tight in the seat. Okay, Pookie Christopher.
Okay, Pookums. Go ahead.
He was like, apparently, you ever hear the thing? Did we mention this last week? Him and Rodney Dangerfield actually didn't like each other.
Yeah.
Really?
You just tell me that? Who told me that?
I don't know if it
Somebody
was
told
me, but yeah, there was a lot of tension on set with Chevy Chase and Bill Murray. Just goes to show professionals all the way through.
Well, Chevy Chase and Bill Murray
improvised
always hated each
scenes.
other.
All
Yeah.
of Bill Murray's was he just got 2 stage directions, and then he improvised the Augusta scene.
That's
was all
one of my
improvised.
favorite scenes in that movie.
Him and in the actual Carl, the caddy or not Carl Spackler's home, whatever you wanted to call it.
Yeah.
When Chevy's playing the night before the big match. That whole scene was improvised, which is super impressive.
That is impressive. They basically wrote a whole.
There's more fun-loving characters to appreciate than there is in Ferris.
It's goofier, but there's also really
It's
goofy.
definitely goofier.
There's
It's meant to be.
There's really goofy parts too. Like one of the coolest parts is who is it? Oh, and with the parking garage guys when they have the.
Yeah. You're saying fun-loving characters, but I think you fall in love with the Ferris Bueller's characters way more.
No.
There's way more heart there. You the guy, Cameron's dad. He's dealing with all that shit. It's like that's your family. Those are your friends. That's some real shit. Caddyshack was just goofy. I mean, it's funny. I love it, but it was also like I'm not
it's
not
hard
dreaming
for me to
about these
argue,
people.
but I like
Iconic scenes.
professional.
I think most people would go with Caddyshack, to be honest. with you. I
Singing
think
on
they won
the
Oscar.
parade float.
Yeah, Shake It Up, Baby Now.
Yeah,
Tonga
that's the only
Shane,
problem I
Shake It
have
Up.
with the movie.
Tonga
It's like, how the
Shane.
fuck did you get? You know the words. You got a microphone. Who gave you? Who got you on that?
Well,
float?
he's a Renaissance man.
Yeah.
He's the
He's
coolest
Ferris
of the
Bueller.
cool.
He's
He's the
Ferris Bueller.
coolest
That's
of
how
the
cool he
cool.
was.
He's very, he knows what
Yeah.
he's doing.
That is one of my favorite shots when it cuts back up to the dad, and the dad he's just kind of air
The dad dancing. Yeah. That's what I'm saying, man. Like it's a pretty epic movie.
Charlie
Yeah.
Sheen.
The Charlie Sheen part is great.
Drugs.
She goes, what's your name? She goes, Shauna. Yeah, drugs.
Drugs. Boy, did that one really come true to life.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then she doesn't rat him out like brother sister.
Yeah,
that's fucking huge.
It's definitely more heartfelt
Yeah, what's
than
John
Caddyshack.
Hughes.
I'm going to lose this one.
It's just I think maybe they're too different to match up against each other. Maybe
Maybe.
they're goofier, but I don't think they are because they're like pretty beloved movies from like basically the same time period. But it comes down to the
Yeah, 1980
nuance.
versus 85.
It comes
maybe
down
a
to
little
the
later.
nuance of how old you are. I think I really think it does like how much you relate to it.
Yeah, I agree. When I was a little kid, I remember kind of watching Caddyshack and thinking I was getting away with something.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
that's
Where it
fun.
was just like, if somebody came down, I'd have to change the channel real quickly.
Yeah.
And
I can see that.
Ferris Bueller always felt like it was like, oh yeah, if mom came down, it wouldn't
fine.
matter. And
Yeah.
it was. As a little kid too, you did love the school skipping aspect part of it. You're like, oh, that's so awesome because every kid has plotted how they were going to get out of school, but not being
it's
sick.
like every little kid's fantasy is like, oh, me and my friends could
You're
just
like, he's got
play hooky.
technology involved, and
Yeah.
he's genius about it.
Yeah.
And then, like, it does encapsulate that kind of, like, the singing in the shower, putting his hair up.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
like, that's all great.
Cool.
Perfect.
He's cool. He's
Yeah.
really cool.
Man, I'm just
he's
making
like
your
the-
arguments for you.
He's like the
computer.
Pete Davidson
He's the coolest of the cool.
80s.
He used a computer to hack into the school's computer program.
Yeah.
And how the fuck did he do that?
Grace!
They think he's a
9
righteous
times.
dude.
Oh, what a fucking line. She zips, zoinks. Like, she goes through the whole list of every, like, group of high school
Everybody
students.
loves him.
God, I wish I could have that list right now, but it was just, like, an amazing melange of names that you're just like, I've
Melange.
never heard of.
You know
Wow.
the principal from that.
Yeah.
He going out. He's arrested for child porn.
Yeah, exactly.
Crazy.
Jeffrey
But
Jones.
she should not have been a
He
principal
came
of that
back
school.
in, maybe Deadwood was before that.
It was before.
Okay.
That was the vicious end.
One of the last things he did also was like Devil's Advocate. Oh no, because Devil's Advocate was a while ago. So Deadwood might have been after it, or after it came out, and he was still kind of working.
Yeah.
That he has the best scene in Deadwood with.
I've never seen it.
Oh, it's amazing. What's the main guy's name? Al.
Ian McShane.
Ian McShane.
Oh, he's
that guy.
badass.
Oh, he's
and he
great.
just sits him down because the guy he got
Even
his
John Wick.
store ruined and everything, and he's like, wow, and just smacks him. He's like, what the hell? What's your problem, Al? He goes, you got beaten. It's not going to kill you. So he just goes to this whole thing. He's like, that's 3 beatings. He's like, stand it like a man and give some back. And you're like, it's mind-blowingly good the way he says it.
That's pretty awesome.
It's really fucking
I should
awesome.
watch Deadwood.
I watch that sometimes when I'm just like down.
Yeah.
And I just like, stand it like a man and give some back.
I think if we go category
Anyway.
by category of these two movies, you get a better picture of which one should win.
Okay,
I
funnier.
think for me, funnier.
I think Caddyshack leans on funnier because it's a
I think it's
joke
more
movie.
jokes oriented.
Yeah, it's jokes, it's slapstick, it's
Funny.
sight gags,
More people
it's
out-
lines.
let me laugh out
It's
loud.
got comedic actors,
Yeah.
legendary comedic actors. I mean,
I would say it's funnier. I would give that to you.
Director. I'm gonna go with
I'd
John
give
Hughes.
it to Hughes
go with John
too.
Hughes, yeah.
Yeah.
Ensemble cast, I would probably give it to
Ensemble,
Caddyshack.
I would give it to Caddyshack.
But here's the thing. Now, when you say ensemble cast, do you mean better actors or work better together? Because
no,
the
Ferris
ensemble of the group.
I'm saying that I think that as an ensemble cast, Ferris Bueller, they worked better together. They had better chemistry. That was more
maybe.
Caddyshack was more like sketches that everyone was doing their own show.
Yeah, but when you find out that stuff was improvised, that really takes a level of talent. Where it's like,
they were improv people from SNL,
and it's wickedly funny. It's like you guys comedy, you know how hard that is.
But they are a good trio in John Hughes.
They do work well together,
or at least them as a duo is fantastic. And also the best thing is like Cameron's like one of the most iconic characters from a movie ever.
Yeah,
of him trying to get out of the bed.
When
Cameron was most iconic movie characters ever. Rodney Dane, Al Chervick is iconic. Smales is iconic.
People know people just call him Rodney. People know the
Webb
name
is iconic.
Cameron more than they know the name Al Chervick.
Yeah, you say Cameron, so that's like Prince. That's one word.
Yeah,
you get a one-word guy. What are you, Cameron? Everyone knows.
That one's debatable.
As far as Crush goes, the Bueller gets it
for Crush. Yeah.
For Sloane. There's no contest.
I mean, there is a contest.
There's no
contest for you.
I mean, as far as the
I'm really thinking
goes,
about it. I mean, you see Lacey's boobies,
which is fantastic.
And they're great, and she is.
It's great.
Yeah.
But
she's promiscuous.
But Sloane
gets wet.
I'd rather seen Sloane in a bathing suit than
that's a tough
Lacey's boobies.
I want to throw this out there.
Who aged better?
Who?
Sloane looks. I've never seen Lacey, but Sloane looks fantastic.
I watched like the making ofs, and Lacey, just a very pretty woman, but whatever.
I would say influential. I go Ferris Bueller. A few reasons. One, save Ferris.
Influential how? In what? Because there's different ways.
Yeah. Let me finish.
All right. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Are you thirsty?
Kidding. I mean, lasting effect on people. I think it shaped a generation. It had Save Ferris the shirt. It had the band. It had the TV show. There was a Ferris Bueller TV show.
True.
How many people put England flags on their doors? We all did.
I wonder if there was a Caddyshack TV show. Was there? Probably. I don't think there was. Maybe.
No.
But there was a sequel. One of them has a sequel. The other one, they wanted to have a sequel. They tried to get a sequel, but John Hughes wouldn't sign on unless Matthew Broderick did, and Matthew Broderick wouldn't sign on unless John Hughes did, and they never. It was just
They never called each other.
See, that's one. That's the right decision.
Wow.
No, they called. No, I think they purposely did it that way so they never got made, or neither of them would make the first move. But they were I think they were on good terms before he died. One of the best, there's somebody told me a story about John Hughes where he quit. They asked him why he quit. Some woman, there was an article by some woman at the time of the Breakfast Club was going on. She was trying to they were giving out pins, like be part of the Breakfast Club, get your pin. It was like a promotional thing. And this woman, she tried to get her pin, never got it. So she wrote John Hughes a bunch of letters being like, I want my pin when she was younger. And then he didn't write her back at all because it was like just fan mail, and I guess either he had an assistant, whatever.
Yeah.
So she started writing up the ladder at Paramount, and she got to the head of Paramount, and he contacted John Hughes like, "Hey, write this person back. She won't stop writing me about this thing." So he wrote to her once she was a kid and said, "Hey, here's your pen. Stop writing to my boss. I'm getting in trouble." Whatever. And they started a relationship back and forth like pen pals. And when John Candy died,
Hughes.
when John Candy.
Well,
this is when John Hughes died. The article came out. She wrote it. When he said in a letter to her that Hollywood killed my friend John Candy.
Really?
Yeah, because he couldn't take the rejection. He couldn't take what was going on.
Wow.
So he said slowly he just died because of just dealing with everything related to Hollywood.
How did he die, John?
That and diabetes.
I think he had a heart attack when he was in Mexico.
Oh,
yeah.
God.
And he ate himself to death. He was an overeater, I think, probably.
John Hughes was a big guy?
Not John. Oh, John Hughes?
John Candy.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. John Candy died by a heart attack. John Hughes, I don't know. Might have been cancer? I don't even know what it was. Might have been something like pneumonia, sickness from something.
Better death. Harold Ramis, John Hughes.
Yeah.
Harold Ramis, did he die?
Yeah, he died 2 years ago.
He died.
Yeah,
I know.
yeah, he did.
Yeah, that was a sad one.
So I think ensemble. I think overall maybe they're too different. Sometimes this happens in the podcast.
Well, sorry, cut you off.
They end up being too different to compare. But
you guys have almost did a really good job of winning me over. But yeah, they might be a little too far apart. But I think for me personally, Caddyshack has kind of shaped my humor a little bit more, which is why I was going to make the point of have the different types of influences it can have. So that for me is why I kind of take Caddyshack over Ferris Bueller's Day Off. It's just so much of that style, that writing, that stuff I love.
Yeah.
And just like those gags and stuff like that is comedy that I really love. And as a kid, shaped the type of humor that I enjoyed and kind of tried to make.
Flip test.
Caddyshack. Ooh, I think they both pass.
Flip test?
Flip test is you see it, you go back and you watch the whole
You got to just,
you're watching TV.
If you're watching TV.
It's on.
See, Caddyshack is a better in the background movie that you can like not pay attention to. Whereas Ferris Bueller,
I think they're both. I've seen both so many times.
Yeah.
I would go, like, it's funny because it comes down to that hairline thing. I would go back to Ferris quicker.
I would go right back
Both
to Ferris.
are on. I'm watching Ferris.
Both are on. I'm watching Ferris.
Yeah.
Both are on?
Think I'm watching Caddyshack.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this.
You know what? A lot of that is just for Ted Knight. He really pushes it over the top for me. He's such a serious character actor. And
it's the best thing he's done.
There's one for you, Greg. Did you know he did the voice of Meanwhile at the Legion of Doom? That's Ted Knight.
Yeah.
So,
Meanwhile. Well, I guess, are we at an impasse? Alex, did anybody...
It's very close.
I got a thing. I think, because to me, when it comes down to it, it's always... And it sucks because we're comedians, but heart always beats straight comedy. Yeah, the heart always is going to cut.
Yeah, yes, I think so too.
You know?
I'm a softie as well.
So, you know what? That's a great way to put it. Heart beats straight comedy. That's why in the past I've defended these John Hughes things before, because that's why Planes, Trains is better than Dumb and Dumber. There's heart involved.
Yes.
That's what I mean. Not Dumb and Dumber. Tommy Boy. We did Tommy Boy.
Yeah, but Tommy Boy has heart too.
Tommy Boy has heart too, but it's more face value.
Past show encore.
It's cornier heart than Planes, Trains. I cry at the end of I've cried, not anymore, but I've cried at the end of Planes, Trains.
I've cried at the end of Tommy Boy too when he's talking to his dad. That's
I never
a very
cried. I got
sad moment, and they're both dead now too. Yeah, but then all those guys are dead though now, and that's what adds more heart to it.
Dennehy's not.
Yeah, but that's
Farley and Candy.
That's outside of the movie heart.
No, but I'm saying when you go back and watch now, though, that has an effect. It doesn't change. It does change the way you watch it now, knowing that they're dead and. That makes it sadder.
It does make it sadder.
Yeah, but I feel like it makes... Sorry.
But as far as saying
we already did this on an episode. We got worked up again. I think that was an impasse, too.
Oh, what? With what?
Tommy Boy and Planes,
I think
Trains.
it was. Because they both had advantages.
But this happens to us all the time, Greg. It's hard to argue against a movie. It's like, don't get me wrong, I love Ferris Bueller.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just like, for,
Alex, did you change your mind on anything?
Yeah, I'm going to go Caddyshack. Because Greg hasn't seen Seinfeld or most of Seinfeld.
It's just because of me?
Yeah.
It's a dirty move. And I've seen Seinfeld. I just haven't seen every single episode.
You grew up in a Puerto Rican neighborhood?
Yeah. They don't have Seinfeld.
Well, don't hold that against them.
We didn't have Seinfeld.
He only watched Welcome Back, Kotter with
Juan
Irma. All right, so there you go. It changed Alex's mind.
Absolutely.
For a very petty reason, Alex picked that.
Out of spite.
I'm kidding. Let's do plugs,
thirsty.
and we'll get out of here. Are you... These pretzels are making me thirsty. Yes, we did too. Thank you so much for doing this, Greg. What would you like to plug, my friend? The podcast, Rad Duty Cast?
The Rad Dude Cast. Check out my podcast. Also, I have an album coming out February
14th.
February 15th.
15th.
My album comes out February 15th. And then I also have February 14th is at the Fat Black Pussycat. We're doing an album release party. So come out to that.
Thanks for having
on
me
Valentine's
be a part of
Day?
it. I appreciate
I'm telling you
that.
now. I just kind of found out.
On Valentine's Day?
On Valentine's Day, 10:30.
Very nice. And Andy, what would you like to do?
Greg will be on my SiriusXM show, The Raw Report, promoting his album. But before then, this weekend, you guys can see me. I'll be at Mohegan Sun with Tom Papa.
Nice.
And the weekend after, I'm at City Steam in Hartford, Connecticut. Big New England, Connecticut. January for the kid. And you can always find me at andyfiori.com for my tour dates, and that's all my socials. All Andy Fiori, ANDYFIORI.
And you can see him at the chiropractor for his back.
And send some good back vibes. And we're going to get to some fan duels, if you will.
Yes, we are. We're getting to them very soon.
Fan picks.
Also, so I'm at Show Anytime on social media. I'm going to be at the Atlantic City Comedy Club at the Tropicana this weekend in Atlantic City. Also, if you want to come and you listen to the podcast, bring me a potato. I'll sign it.
Meet and greet.
I just
Meet and potatoes.
I'm just going to steal. I want to start a rivalry. Defenders. Let's start a rivalry with the Rad Dudes.
The Rad Riders. We'll
Is that what they're called? The Rad Riders?
The Rock and Rollers.
You feel like the Rad Dudes.
You know what? I'm not even going to limit it to potato. You bring me any vegetable product and I will sign it.
But then it's not a meat and potato.
I'm not a meat and potato.
You got to meet them and get a potato.
Also, I'm going to do an announcement about this. So thank you so much, guys. We'll talk to you soon, and we'll see you next week. We are on Showbiz Studios with our friend Alex. Go to showbizstudios.com for all the information. They also have a YouTube page, and they have an iTunes page that gives you a list of all the Showbiz Studios podcasts run by a lot of our friends that are super hilarious. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you next week. Thank you.
Bye-bye.